Hey, Kiwa Cubs! Happy Monday! I hope you all had a great weekend. Mrs. Hoffer here, and I'm really excited because this week I get to do your science lessons with you. Friends, today we're going to be talking about all the different types of things we might see in the sky based off of the time of day or season it might be in the year. Friends, we're going to be talking about how the Earth, where we're on in the solar system, circles around the sun, and how the moon circles around it, and how depending on where we are while we circle the sun, we might experience summer or winter or all the seasons in between, or we might experience day or night. So let's hear today's lesson goals. So, Keeble Cubs, the goals of today's lessons are that you know there are daily weather changes over the seasons. So today specifically, we'll be talking about how where the Earth is as it circles around the sun and its axis, how that gives us our different weather, our different seasons during the year. The other goals are that you will understand that there are patterns in the natural world and in the objects that we see in the sky, and you'll be able to observe and describe the day-to-day changes in weather throughout all seasons. Let's get started. Okay, friends, like we heard in our goal, in today's science lessons and throughout the week, we're going to be talking about all the different things we see in the sky based on the times of day and the seasons throughout the year. And friends, like we've heard before this year, our world circles around the sun. This sun right here is going to be, Mrs. Hoffer took some of her dog toys from our house to show some very important things from our solar system that we see in the sky. This is our sun. If we can imagine, if it was the actual solar system, the sun would be the biggest of the three. It's really, really, really big, Keeble Cubs, and the sun is the most important thing. It's what gives us heat. It's what gives us longer or shorter days. It's what gives us actually the moon shining at night. So this is the moon, Keeble Cubs, and this will be the world. So pretend this is round, friends, and you'll see I put a little brush through the world, and this is called the world's axis. And this is like the north, you might have heard of it, Keeble Cubs, like the north and the south poles, right on the top, middle, and top bottom of the world. And we rotate around the sun like we're spinning, and it's always at a little bit of an angle. See how it's not straight up when we spin around the world, the sun? It's actually on an angle. And this is called the world's tilt. And our tilt, Keeble Cubs, is what gives us our summer and our winters. Because depending where we are as we rotate, the top part of the axis is either closer to the sun, so that's when we would have longer days, our summer months that are warmer. And then the bottom is experiencing its winter. Then when it gets to the other side, when this is closer to the bottom axis, that's when it's summer and the north is experiencing its winter. Now, friends, as we go around the sun in our little turns, spinning, 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 this not only is what we do all year long as we go one whole time around the sun in 1 year, but each of these spins, the separate spin that the world does on its own, not just around the sun, also gives us our day and night. So this, friends, is when the moon comes into play. And the moon would be the smallest of the three. And the moon actually circles around us on the world. So the moon, as the Earth is doing its rotations, and depending as it rotates, what side it is depends if it's day or night, Keeble Cubs. So if we see the sun or the moon in the sky, if it's dark in the sky and there's stars and we see the moon, or if it's bright out and we see the sun. Whatever side of the world is facing the sun on the rotation, it's daytime. And when it's rotating and facing the moon, that's when it's night out, Keeble Cubs. So when you see the sun out and it's nice and bright, that's when you know we're in the part of the rotation around that we're facing the sun. When it gets dark outside and the moon comes out, that's when we are facing the moon. So friends, so far we've learned several important things about why we see different things in the sky at different times of the year and at different times of the day. Our little rotations like this around the axis are what gives us nighttime and daytime. But the Earth actually rotating, like I said earlier, around the world is what gives us our year and what gives us our seasons, depending on what side our axis we're facing. So when we're closer to the sun, like I said, when our angle is close to the sun, that's when we're experiencing our summer, when we're having the fun summer months with long, warm days where we can sit outside and enjoy the warm sunshine. Friends, you'll also notice when you get to wake up really early, or sometimes at the nighttime, you get to see the sun go down or the sun rise. And that is when our Earth is just at that point where we're about to see one or the other. So one's about to go down and one's about to come up because we're about to go over to finish that rotation. So let's say these words on the world go over, they're having the sun go down, and they're about to see the moon. But sometimes, Keeble Cubs, you can notice when we're at that part of our rotation and the sun is going down, we can actually see the sun and the moon at the same time based off of where we are in the rotation. So sometimes you can see both in the sky. And Keeble Cubs, you might not know this already, but even when the night is up, you can see the bright moon in the sky. And the reason the moon actually gets its light is because of the reflection of the bright light aiming off of the big sun in the distance on the other side of the moon.
All right, Keeble Cubs, we are all done with today's science lesson. I hope you enjoyed learning all about why we see different things such as sun and the moon in the sky at night based off of the time in the year and what time it is of the day. Keep up the good work, friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye!